Today, we're going to talk about something well, it's just so incredibly important, but we don't always give it the attention it deserves. I'm talking about mental health. We're all pretty good at thinking about our physical health, right? But our mental well-being, that's what truly allows us to thrive.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to get clear on what mental health actually is. Then we'll dig into why your mind is so crucial. We'll also cover how to listen to the signals your mind sends you, some really simple steps for self-care, and finally, and this one's a big one, we'll talk about the strength it takes to ask for support.
Okay, so first things first, let's bust a huge myth right off the bat. A lot of us hear the words mental health and immediately think it's just about dealing with mental illness. But honestly, it's so much bigger than that.
So what is it then? Well, at its core, mental health is really about our state of well-being. It's the engine that influences how we think, how we feel, and how we act in our day-to-day lives. It's basically the foundation of our entire inner world.
And having good mental health isn't just some vague, nice idea. It has real, practical benefits. It helps you handle stress way more effectively. It lets you build and keep healthy relationships. You end up making better decisions. And honestly, it's what allows you to truly enjoy life.
So why does your mind matter so much? I love this analogy. Think of your mind as the engine that keeps you going every single day.
Let's really dive into this car analogy, because it's perfect. So often, we get obsessed with the car's body, right? The shiny paint job, the exterior. That's like our physical health. But our mental health, that's the engine. And you know what happens if you ignore the engine's warning lights and skip the maintenance? Well, it doesn't matter how great the car looks on the outside, eventually the whole thing just stalls out. And let's be real, that engine of ours goes through a lot. All the pressure from school, from work, from family, and don't even get me started on social media. All of that stuff puts a real strain on our mental engine. And that's exactly why that regular maintenance we talked about, it's not a luxury, it's absolutely critical. Okay, so if our mind is this engine, how in the world do we know when it needs a tune-up? The trick really is just learning to listen, learning to recognize the signals it's sending us. So what do these signals look like? Well, think of them just like the warning lights on your car's dashboard. Maybe it's feeling sad or anxious most of the time, or you find yourself overthinking everything and just losing interest in things you used to love. Or maybe you're just tired all the time or can't sleep. These are all super common signs that it's time to check in with yourself.
And this is so important to remember. Seeing these signs pop up doesn't mean you're weak. Not at all. It just means you're human. These are just universal signals telling us we need to pay a little attention, not reasons to judge ourselves.
All right, so we know how to spot the signals. Now for the good part. What do we do about it? How do we perform that essential maintenance? And the great news here is that you don't have to do anything drastic. Small, simple actions can have a massive impact. Here are 4 simple things you can start with. 1. Talk. Just sharing how you feel with someone you trust can feel like a huge weight has been lifted. 2. Breathe. Seriously, just taking a few deep breaths or trying a little mindfulness can calm everything down. 3. Rest. Give yourself a break. Step away from the endless scroll on social media. And 4. Ask. It is always okay to reach out and ask for help when you need it.
And I want to be crystal clear on this point. Self-care is not selfish. It's not an indulgence. It is essential maintenance, period. This leads us to our last and, honestly, maybe the most important point of all, the power of getting support. For way too long, there's been this really harmful stigma that's kept people from getting the help they deserve. So let's break that down, shall we?
I want you to really let this sink in. Making the choice to talk to a therapist or to seek support in any way, that is a sign of incredible strength. It is not, and never has been, a sign of weakness.
The old, outdated misconception is that needing help means you're weak. But what's the reality? The reality is that seeking help is a sign of real strength and self-awareness. It means you're smart enough to know you need another tool in your toolkit and brave enough to go find it.
Let's just make this normal, okay? If you had a fever that wouldn't go away, you'd go to a doctor, right? No question. Emotional pain deserves the exact same response. It's all just health. So, as we wrap this up, if there's one thing you take away, let it be this. If you're struggling, I promise you, You are not alone. Your feelings are valid, they matter, and taking care of your mental health is one of the most important things you can possibly do for yourself.
So, I'll leave you with a little question to think about. What's one small act of engine maintenance you can do for yourself today? Thanks for taking the time to explore this with me.